The Celtics need to stop playing around and just end this series if they do want to cement their status as contenders and as the favorites to come out of the East. This game opened up with a pretty pedestrian first quarter for both teams. Philly didn't come out with the sense of urgency you would expect from a team facing elimination, and Boston was able to lead by 2 after the first, despite only making 1 3 in the quarter. Very foul-heavy second quarter for Boston, was able to keep Philly in it. The C's did extend their lead heading into half, but bad three-point shooting from both teams meant that the Celtics were not really able to pull away. They were still getting some pretty quality offense, which was great for them early on, because in games when three-point shots are not falling, they do often struggle to get other offense going. In this game, though, at least in that first half, they were able to fall back on some more reliable defense, penetrating the paint and just leading to some great opportunities at the rim. So they were still able to be leading this one at half, but not a very dominant showing for the Celtics in the first half. The second half was when things started to fall apart for Boston. Both sides started to hit some threes in the third quarter especially, but Philly was really able to take advantage of that. Boston hit a few, but nothing consistent. Their percentages still were not great, and Embiid really was a matchup nightmare for Boston, especially beginning in that second half. Keita is the best Celtics center to match up with Embiid, but he can be foul prone. As we all know, Embiid is a very savvy player at drawing the whistle, and he is able to make that an issue, especially as Keita has been dealing with foul trouble all series long, even before Embiid came back into the picture. With no Keita on the floor, if he is in foul trouble, the Celtics usually turn to Vucevic, and he just can't do anything whatsoever to stop Joel. Embiid is getting whatever he wants inside, and Boston's double teams were often ending with him getting to the line or with kick-out passes to open shooters. If the Celtics had been able to slow down Embiid, they would have been able to win this game, but they really did not have an answer for him last night. Even with Embiid doing his thing in the third and the Sixers team picking up their shooting, the Celtics were still up by 1 heading into the fourth. So they were still absolutely in control of the game. It wasn't firmly in their control. There was absolutely still a way for them to blow it, as we ultimately saw when they got outscored by 17 points in the quarter. That's simply not something that can happen for Boston. An 11-point fourth quarter is the worst offensive output of any quarter this postseason for the Celtics, and they weren't even getting bad looks. They had tons of great opportunities, and at one point it was a 97-94 game for Philly, so there was a fairly easy path back into the game for the Celtics. But again, those shots just were not falling, and once Phillies started to, that lead just began to balloon. Very bad loss for the Celtics. They really should have been able to close this series out last night. I still don't give the Sixers a chance in this series because they did have to play all their starters pretty massive minutes last night to pull that game out, and I am anticipating them being gassed in Game 6. Plus, Boston should bounce back with at least a serviceable shooting game, which would be enough to ice this series. But this was another frustrating loss for the Celtics in a series that should have been a sweep, but has gone on much longer than they would like. They are missing out on some much-needed rest at this point, especially with Tatum still rounding back into form after tearing his Achilles less than a year ago at this point. Moving forward, I would like to see the Celtics get some more offense from Derek White, and unless they are making a point of getting Sam Hauser going early to maximize his shooting, really stretch the floor with his shooting ability, I would prefer to see a guy like Baylor Scheiderman or Jordan Walsh with his starting role, as they are more capable point of attack defenders and are really going to bring that energy in a way that Hauser doesn't. Plus, there are some of the few guys Boston has that are likely to draw offensive fouls and create live ball turnovers early enough up the court to consistently generate points off of them. I do think the Celtics would benefit from giving both Walsh and Scheiderman some more of Hauser's minutes, if not his starting position. I would honestly be shocked if we saw Game 7 in this series. Philly had to lay it all on the line last night to pull out that win. All their starters played around that 40-minute mark. For Embiid especially, you do wonder if that's going to be sustainable. This was only his second game back. It is a home game for Philly, which in theory should give them an advantage, but when Boston gives up games in the playoffs, it does tend to be at home. They tend to take their foot off the gas there. When they're on the road, they do seem to lock in way better. So I do honestly think it is ideal for the Celtics to have a chance to finish this one out on the road. I don't think we'll see a Game 7. Boston is not going to be playing around about ending the series now that it's already gone to 6, which is honestly 2 more than it should have gone, and they know that they need to take care of business and still have time to recover before before round 2 starts and what's going to be the first real test of this team's ability to contend.